Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we step into one of the most mysterious, chilling, and unexplained haunting stories in modern American history, a tale that blends psychological fear, paranormal claims, emotional tension, and decades of unanswered questions. This is the story of the Sallie House, a place where ordinary walls seem to hold extraordinary secrets. Our journey begins in the quiet town of Atchison, Kansas, a peaceful community that became the center of national attention when one particular home began to gain a reputation far beyond anything the town had ever seen. In the 1990s, a young couple named Tony and Deborah moved into a charming old house on North 2nd Street, unaware that their lives were about to change forever. The house looked simple, almost comforting, but locals whispered about its history, stories of strange noises, unexplained shadows, and events that former residents refused to talk about. At first, the couple dismissed the rumors, believing the eerie stories were just small-town legends, but soon, strange occurrences began happening around them. Objects seemed to shift positions, electronic devices malfunctioned, and lights flickered without explanation. Deborah noticed that the nursery room, a small upstairs space painted softly and filled with old, outdated toys left behind by previous occupants, felt unusually cold, no matter the season. The couple tried to stay rational, chalking it up to wiring issues, drafts, and the quirks of an old house, but their sense of unease grew. Tony, who spent more time alone in the house due to work schedules, reported the feeling of being watched. He sometimes heard soft footsteps when no one else was home and glimpsed small shadows darting around corners, moving faster than he could process. The couple's pets behaved strangely, avoiding certain rooms and staring at empty doorways as if observing something invisible. One night, while unpacking, Deborah discovered old medical charts in a forgotten drawer, believed to belong to a doctor who lived in the house decades earlier. Rumor had it that the doctor treated patients inside the home, including a young girl named Sallie. According to local stories passed down for generations, Sallie was a small child who had once lived in the town and visited the doctor for an emergency condition. While the exact details of her story remain unclear, some believed she passed away inside the house, and over time, people began associating her spirit with the unexplained activity. The couple tried to focus on their daily lives, believing that whatever was happening could be managed or simply ignored. But the activity increased. Small taps turned into knocking. Faint whispers became clearer. At times, Deborah heard what sounded like a child humming, even though the house was empty. Friends who visited mentioned odd sensations, like sudden cold spots or the feeling of static electricity in the air. As the tension grew, the couple documented everything, hoping to make sense of the experiences. They set up camcorders, audio recorders, and motion detectors, but instead of answers, they found more mystery. Some recordings captured faint voices, soft giggles, and unusual fluctuations in temperature. Shadows appeared in photos where no one was standing. The energy inside the house grew heavier, more intense, as if feeding off the couple's fear and confusion. Paranormal investigators were eventually called in, and the Sallie House quickly became a national phenomenon. Teams reported experiencing unexplainable equipment malfunctions, unusual electromagnetic readings, and moments where they felt overwhelming emotional pressure, as if the house itself was reacting to their presence. Some investigators described seeing the figure of a small child, while others claimed to feel sudden, sharp sensations that vanished instantly. Yet despite all the claims, there was no definitive explanation, no confirmed historical documents about Sallie, no medical files proving her story, and no evidence linking the house to a single cause. This made the mystery even more intriguing. Was Sallie real? Was the activity coming from multiple past events layered over time? Or was the house connected to something far more complex, something tied to emotional energy, history, and human perception? Researchers suggested psychological factors might play a role. The stress of moving, the pressure of unusual experiences, and the power of suggestion could all contribute to the events. Others believed the house acted like a magnet, absorbing emotional imprints from its past residents and replaying them like echoes. Over the years, visitors reported a wide range of experiences, some peaceful, some unsettling, and many impossible to explain. The house became a landmark for curious travelers, paranormal experts, historians, and skeptics. Despite countless investigations, the truth remains elusive. Some believe Sallie was a gentle presence trying to communicate. Others think the energy in the house is far older and more layered than any single story can explain. And many feel the mystery persists because the house itself is a unique place where history, emotion, and the unknown converge in ways that defy simple interpretation. Today, the Sallie House stands as one of America's most puzzling haunted locations, not because of dramatic claims, but because of the deep psychological impact it leaves on those who visit. It is a place where the boundary between the normal and the unexplained feels unusually thin, where ordinary people have experienced moments that challenge logic, and where every room seems to hold a memory that refuses to fade. Whether the house is truly haunted or simply misunderstood remains a question without a clear answer. But what is certain is that the Sallie House continues to fascinate, unsettle, and captivate the imagination of those who seek to understand it. Ladies and gentlemen, the story of the Sallie House is more than just a haunting. It is a reminder of how powerful the human mind can be, how deeply history can shape a place, and how mystery can linger long after events have passed. It teaches us to observe, to question, and to remain open to possibilities beyond what we can see. Thank you for joining me on this journey into one of America's most intriguing paranormal stories. Until next time, stay curious, stay thoughtful, and stay safe.